Hello, happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. Today is a very special day in a very special location because I am in my new YouTube studio. Not that you care much, but I'm very excited about it. So I thought I would have a very casual conversation about some pretty intense stuff that's going on in the real estate market. I mean, we've got interest rates that are freaking out. We have home sellers that are starting to drop their prices in some areas it like within a couple days because they're not getting like 1,000 bidding wars, which is really good if you're in this buying situation and you have a lot of this in your hand. You don't have to deal with a lot of those home bidders, which is good. But if you're trying to get a home loan, that really stinks. But we're also going to be talking about what's going on with home builders and what they're saying right now. And if you're in the market right now, this could be the perfect time for you to get a deal. If you were thinking about selling, you better get out now because I don't think this is going to be lasting for much longer. Home prices are going to be holding in some areas, but I'm going to give you my predictions in some areas that are going to, I believe it's just my belief that I believe are going to have some trouble, are going to be in some trouble. So we're going to get into some news stories and we're going to talk about that for a little bit. And then we're going to be talking to you. We're going to be asking you your questions about real estate. And hopefully I can see them easily. I'm going to have to turn down my phone because I'm going to have to look at them on my phone because Eddie's in another room altogether and I'm not anywhere near my screen. So we're going to try to see how this works. I know there's a delay. So hopefully we can get this all together. I didn't even think about that when I put this together. Like, would I be able to see the questions? That was dumb. Oh well, we'll try our best. We're gonna work through this together. But I thought this would be kind of cool to have this cool spot because I have this like arm. anyway, I hope you guys are having fantastic Father's Day. And I think the first thing we need to do is go ahead and pop up that first article because this was the one that caught my attention because the Fed this week was like, you know what, the party's over, and the Fed chairman literally said, we're going to reset the housing market. He literally said that. And I've been talking about the Great Reset and how they were going to try to change things up. I still think that most of these corporations are trying to turn us into renters. You can argue with me about that in the chat. But okay, so according to prime rate just soared to its highest level since before the pandemic. Granted, it's Yahoo News. Take it with a grain of salt, but this was actually a decent article. Here's everything you need to know. The prime rate is the interest rate major banks offer to buyers with the best credit. In other words, less risky ones. This key benchmark jumped for the third time this year after Federal Reserve increased the bank rate by 0.75 of a percentage point, trying to quell the runaway inflation. Two rates move together, and new increase means higher borrowing costs for car loans, home equity lines of credit, and credit cards. Let's see, I'm going to jump down this. It says, what's the prime rate today? The current prime rate across the United States for banks is 4.75. The prime rate normally runs around 3%, 3 percentage points above the central bank's federal funds, which the Fed just raised to a target range of 1.5 to 1.75. I want to get down to this one article where, like, at the bottom of the article, this is where he made this quote. Okay, because what he said was at the end was like with a part that really made me mad. It's at the very bottom of the article. Where is it? Oh my gosh. After the Fed cut its federal funds rate to net zero last year, created a climate for low interest rates. Mortgage rates dropped to historic lows. Rates on the personal loans fell too, but long-term mortgage rates don't always move in the same direction as prime. For example, 30-year mortgage rates fell in December 2016 and 17, even though the prime rate rose to 3.75 to 4.25. The reason I wanted to mention this part was because the Fed during this conference or this speaking point, he said that it's time for the real estate market to have a reset. And when those words came out of his mouth, I was like scratching my head going, Is he trying to reset it to make people buy less? Is he trying to reset it so only corporations buy? What does that mean? Like, to me, that seems like a cryptic word when he said that, reset. Why do they feel like they need to reset the housing market? I mean, I know affordability is out of control, but I was very curious on what he meant by reset. Um, so what do you think? I want to know in your comment section below. Like, what do you think that he meant by reset? Or maybe I'm looking into it too much. I want to get your 411 on that. Let me know what you think on it. So what do you guys think of the new studio? All right, here we go. First question. Eddie got it for me. All right. So it says, question: I decided to drop my first realtor and find another one. And the second one, to be safe, will split her commission with the first, even though I was the one to find the property. Now, that's actually pretty nice. Some people, when they have switched real estate agents, they will not split the commission. I've done this before with a client who I helped find a manufactured homes. He was selling his house. The agent that was selling it got really hot because he picked another real estate agent to find a house. And me being me, I'm like, it's just not that big of a deal. I'll split the commission with you, which she was fine with. So I just gave her a 50-50 split. Sometimes, though, if you haven't signed anything and you don't think that first agent deserves a one red cent, you can negotiate that she doesn't. Like, you can go to their broker and tell them, nope, not going to do it. Not at this juncture. Nope. Don't pay her a penny. So just know that for the future. That's fantastic. You can do that, though. There's nothing in the rule book. Just know this: anything related to commissions in real estate is negotiable. Everything. Here, I have to pull this up because it takes a second for me to see it. Question: with interest rates expected to rise much more, what are your thoughts on building a home with construction permit? With a construction permit, is it too risky, or is it a good bet? Okay, thanks. Okay, here's the thing. We're going to talk a little bit about home builders in a minute because I'm going to pull up an article. But with interest rates the way that they're going, if you're building a brand new house, you have no guarantee of what your interest rate is going to be in, let's just say, 6 months, because there is still building supply constraints that are become a problem. Normally, you could get a house and expect it to be built within 3 to 6 months. Now it could be as high as 9 to 12 months. In 9 to 12 months, what is the interest rates going to be then? Are you going to be tight on a payment because of that? And not only that, like the new tax rates come in for your property taxes, you might be looking at a payment that you weren't expecting. If it was me, and this is just me personally, I'm not telling you what to do, but if it was me, the only way I would purchase a brand new constructed home is if it's currently already built. It's already on the lot. Everything's done. All you have to do is sign the contract and wait for your loan papers to go through. There would be, I don't even know how, there would be no way that I would not build a brand new house with a new construction loan. Not because of any of the reason. There's nothing wrong with the product. It's just that the uncertainty of how much that interest rate's going to go up. People argued with me. They argued with me at the beginning of this year that I said I can easily see interest rates going, around 5%, and they scoffed at me. And here we are. We're over 6. We're heading into 7 to 8 category pretty soon. The way it's looking to me, I'd be shocked if we weren't at least by 7.5 by the end of the year, at least minimum 7.5 by the end of the year. And that's freaking me out a little bit. But it's not a good thing if you're wanting to move and to get into another house, especially if you have a low interest rate. It's not a good thing for home buyers trying to find that first time home, because that interest rate affects their buying power, and home prices really haven't gone down that much. In some areas, yes. There's some areas that not like crash territory, but there's some areas that are taking deductions, but they still have record home sales, which blows my mind. But anyways, get to the next question, my love. Oh, we got a lot of moderators in here. I want to say hi to them. Hello, Chris Conkles. Hello, construction cronies. All right, here we go. Here's another question. Says, where in Canada can I find land that would allow me to build a tiny home on it? And mixed use buildings, especially if I have no savings, I might consider taking out a loan. I I would be lying to you if I told you anything about Canada real estate. Now, I do have a friend who is Canadian. His name is Justin Conoco, and he's an excellent real estate agent in Canada. Another one I know is Brad McCallum. If you want to email me, my email is info@kristinasmallhorn.com. I'll get you their contact information, and they can help you out with those things. I would be lying if I told you anything about Canadian real estate. I just do not know your laws or what has to do with land and what you need. I just don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Happy Father's Day, Eddie. Yes. Happy Father's Day, Eddie. He's such a good guy. I'm going to let everybody know that we'll be doing a hard stop right at 4:30 because we were having Father's Day with my dad, Vincent Nellinger, who is the greatest dad in the whole entire world. But the second greatest dad in the whole entire world is my husband, Eddie Smallhorn. He does so much for his kids. If you guys only knew, he's the one that the girls have to do is, bat their eyelashes and go, Dad, Dad. They get whatever they want. I always say he has the word sucker across his forehead because he is such a good dad to his girls. And yeah, yep, he's the best. He's the best. Do you have any questions, Eddie, that we can put up on the screen, or are we going to go ahead and go to the next article? Oh, here we go. I'm just going to say this really quick. Reset, deflate the largest asset bubble in history, real estate. Yeah, maybe that's what he means. A question. Oh, this kid. I love this kid. This kid. Are those splits between agents in the same brokerage or across the board? Okay, so in the state of Louisiana and in most states, you'll see as an example, let's just say it's a 6% commission, right? So 3% typically goes to the listing agent, and 3% would go to the buyer's agent. But even then, it doesn't actually even go to the agent because that 3% actually goes to the brokerage. The brokerage takes out their commissions from it, and then you get your check. And then when you get that check, you have to take out all of your taxes from it. And then you finally get paid. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. But, like the number that you see on that settlement statement doesn't all go to the real estate agent. It goes to the brokerage first. That broker going to get paid first. They're going to get paid first. That's why it always pays to be your own broker. I'm not. I don't want to have to deal with paperwork, and I hate dealing with that kind of stuff. All right, we got another question coming up. It takes a second for it to hit my screen on my little tiny phone. So, Killian one says, do you think home prices will actually go down? So if the interest rates goes down too? Typically in history, if interest rates go up, home prices go down. What has been shocking and surprising a lot of experts is that home prices have still maintained this level, but I can't see it continuing to rise in some markets if the interest rates continue to go up. Unless you're a cash buyer and it doesn't affect you, for most people that are getting a house, they're going to need a loan. The only thing that I can say that would keep home prices steady, if not flat, is the lack of supply of homes. We still do not have enough homes on the market. And I'm not talking about the McMansion homes. I'm not talking high-end homes. I'm talking about affordable homes. People, people that are working, regular jobs, making their payments, have decent credit, just looking to get in that first or second home. Those homes that some people would call first-time home buyers, those like 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes. We don't have enough of them. There just isn't enough, and home builders are unwilling to make them because they don't make enough money to do it. The Biden administration has come out with a plan. Who knows if it will ever go through, but they did come up with a plan to help home builders negotiate some of those costs down with the cost of the land and building materials, so they would build more affordable housing options. So they would have more incentives to do it, and that would be the biggest thing for most builders. Like they need that incentive, but we don't know if it will go through. It was a plan. It was put out by the administration that all those things need to be voted on. And just like anything in Congress, it takes a long time for anybody to agree on anything. Doesn't matter if it's housing or not. You know how that is. You know how that is. I feel like a little kid in here. Don't I look like I'm 5? Like, hello everybody, how are you? You remember Edith Ann? You remember here? Lily Tallman, Edith Ann. Question. Oh, lawnmower. Hello, lawnmower. Happy Father's Day. Are the corporations buying houses with the cash, mortgage lenders, or some other type of collateral? So they'll come in on the negotiated contract, right? On the negotiated contract, they're paying cash, right? But what they end up doing is later on, they take all of those things and they get loans. They get so many loans and other money from other entities that they're just shifting money around. It doesn't mean anything to them. If they pay cash here, they're going to get a loan here. And all of it was at that time very low interest for them. And they bundle up all these things, and companies like Blackstone and BlackRock have finagled the system in a way that they're literally pretty much getting these houses for free. When it comes down to it, that's why they're not afraid to overbid, because us as Americans, the taxpayers, whenever they get in trouble, we always bail them out. So we did the last time, and we'll do it again, because we don't want the whole world to fall apart, because nobody really wants a collapse of the real estate market. I mean, like, nobody wants to see their home values drop 50 to 60%. So if this gets in trouble again, just like last time, we'll end up footing the bill. Yep. Super chill new studio. You look relaxed and happy. I am relaxed and happy. There is an actual tour of the full inside of this studio on TikTok. You don't have to follow me on TikTok, but if you want to see the actual like studio inside, I just posted that video today. If you're a channel member, I put the link in that channel member tab, so you can see it will take you straight to that TikTok, but it shows you the whole inside and how it's all set up. There's another desk in the other direction that I will be recording my videos. And then there's a desk across the way here that I will be recording. Sometimes I won't be in this little chair. I just wanted to do something kind of fun for the holidays. This is not every day. This is actually my nap. So I like taking naps. So this is my little nap beanbag chair. Excuse me, I had to take a sip. All right, here we go. We got a question coming up. All right. Peter says, is a private property railroad crossing transferable? The railroad passes through the middle of my property. On the other side is landlocked without a crossing in place. I would talk to a title attorney about this, because this again would be according to your state and state laws. You're going to have to check with what that title attorney says. I don't know the answer to that. I wish I did. That's a pretty good. It's a private property with railroad crossing transferable. I just don't know. Sorry, Peter. At least I'm willing to admit it. I'm not going to lie. Some people will just talk out of their rear end and say something, and I'm like, was that true? I don't feel like that was true. Eddie, if there's another question, we can go to the next article. Oh, here, wait, hold up 1 second. Straight Goat says, why does everybody have such a large difference in price of full on development of land? What is normal in the average cost for roughly an acre of land? Well, the reason why the price varies for the cost of land is because, like, for instance, an acre in California is not going to be the same price as an acre of land here in Louisiana. When I moved here, an acre of land, you could get an acre of land for $10,000. Well, you would be striking gold if you could find that now. it's the market dictates the price, and land development in each area is going to be cost different too, because regulation wise it's going to it costs differently. In Florida, they have less regulations than, let's just say, California or even New York City, and you have to go through a whole permitting process, and you have to go through council meetings to make sure that that land is going to be able to be approved for development. Um, that's why it costs. That's why it costs. So, Eddie, if you want to go to the next article, that'd be awesome. Awesome sauce. If you're a dad, make sure you say, I'm a dad, so we can wish you a happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy Father's Day. God. We are closing on our home Wednesday at 4.5. Congratulations. Thank you, Jesus. It was official. Congratulations. We are in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. The channel has been a big help. I am so excited for you. 4.5 is very good right now. Congratulations. I'm glad you locked in that rate. Very, very good. Very good. Yay. Everybody give her a round of applause. I was able to see that from the screen. I mean, if you knew how far away this is, my eyes aren't as bad as I thought. I actually saw that. I guess because she used all caps. That works. That works. You gonna put up that next article, Papa? Oh, here we got another question coming in. Well, where do you guys get your oversized overalls from? Also encourage people to amend their taxes when they are trying to buy a house. That really should almost be yeah. So everywhere does their taxes differently. In some places, if you're a veteran, they give you a discount on your property taxes, or even in some states, they actually just say, nope, you don't have to pay property taxes. You check with your county and you can file that. In our state, you can freeze your taxes after a certain age. You can freeze your property taxes where they will not increase because you reach a certain age. So always file that homestead. Some people say amend your taxes. You could amend them, like if they are too high and your property values have decreased, you can amend them that way too. But as far as my overalls are concerned, these are just from Amazon. Yeah. I'm obsessed with overalls this year. I have about 8 pair. I wear them all the time. People are like, "What's with the overalls?" I'm like, "They're comfortable." I'm not giving up on the overalls, and I get compliments on them all the time. So I appreciate you giving me a compliment on them because I love them. I love them. All right. All right. Question. Oh, Eddie. All right. Do buyers agents try to steer buyers away from new construction due to lower commissions? No, we get the same amount of commission from new construction as we do a regular home sale. I'm not even joking when I tell you this. So when we get an MLS sheet, I just print it out for the customer who's buying a house. I don't even know what the commission rate is until we start writing a contract on it. And it doesn't mean one way or the other. If an agent is that concerned over a commission for one house, then you need to find another real estate agent. They're obviously not doing enough business if they're that freaked out over, a 1 or 2% commission. Does it stink because, you could have made it like maybe a 2.5 or 3? Sure. But it doesn't make it any different. Doesn't affect the quality of services you should get as a buyer. New construction right now, I love new construction because the builders are willing to do things for the buyers that you can't get with an already pre-existing home. And not only that, you get warranties with that new home. It's just the fact that like everything's so delayed. Like people that have put in contracts for houses have been waiting for so long. Last year at this time, there were people that put in a contract that they negotiated with the builder for $350,000, and then by the time that the house was getting scraped and put on the ground and the materials were getting there, they were like, well, sorry, now this house is $450,000. And I'm not exaggerating. They were gone up $100,000, and the people were like, well, I can't afford that now. Like we don't have a loan for $100,000 more. And they were like, well, we'll just give it to the next person. If the new home construction, and like I've said this before, if the new home construction home is already built and it's in place and it's all they have to do is go through the whole loan process and they're going to hand you the keys, yeah, buy yourself a new home. Some home builders right now are actually even giving some incentives, which we haven't seen in 3 years. They're giving out closing costs again, which is nice. They're giving out some upgrade packages. Some of them have even been like putting in blinds and refrigerators and washers and dryers, which they hadn't been doing for a while. So it's kind of nice that home buyers are at least finally getting something, you know. Uh, Construction Crony says studio is rad. Sounds amazing. So all pro. Thank you, Chris Conkle. I appreciate you. You've done your fair share of studios. I think you put in like 3. Construction Cronies is in construction, so whenever he has a whim, he just like, you know what? I think we're gonna build a new studio. And he's built some amazing studios, and they're all for him. Like it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm a dad. Happy Father's Day. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope your kids got you something good. Happy Father's Day to Eddie. Yes. Oh, modern day tech. Ting. So good to see you. I haven't seen you forever. I'm a dad. Hi, Thomas Morrison. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day of 3 young men. Oh, wow. Congratulations. I hope they got you something good, like something you wanted, not socks. Next setup, I'm getting Lily Tomlin vibes. Yeah, see, like,
Do you remember when she used to read a book and she'd sit in her chair and she would tell really good stories about her mom, and then she'd pick her nose?
if you really dig back in my old videos, I have a character that I played, and her name was Sunshine. And I was the little girl, and I'm picking my nose in the back seat of the car as I'm showing houses. It's so stupid. I had fun. All right, Eddie, let's jump to that next article. Let's jump to that next article. Oh, wait, you're going to put that Eddie's gonna put the question up. Do you think that selling right now is worth it? I'm currently at 3% APR and have overlooked over 100 in equity. We want to buy land and put a manufactured modular home. Is it worth it right now? If you're at 3% and do you have to move? Like, do you have to move? Because I mean, we're like creeping up to nearly 7%. That is one of those things. If you live in a house, if you don't have to move at 3%, I don't know. I would hold on to my house. That is a pros and cons list. This is one of those times I would put up your pros and cons. You and your significant other go in separate rooms and list out the pros of doing what you want to do and the cons of doing what you want to do. And then also look at your debt to income ratio and decide if this is something you really want to invest in your time in. I don't know. I just don't like paying more money to the bank personally. Question. I've heard at local, hold on. I'm trying to read it from a distance. I've heard local counties are recognizing indigenous land. Does that mean that residents of indigenous ancestry don't have to pay property taxes? I don't know the legal parts of indigenous land, but they have a different there's loan programs for indigenous people, and there's like they have them in every state where there is indigenous land. I know that I've had a couple people from this stream who are indigenous that were able to buy a manufactured home and put it on indigenous land and get a loan that way. So I don't know the back end ramifications of that. The loan people, I'm one of the people like, I can show you the house. I can like show the inside of the house. I can tell you all the components of the house. I can tell you about the contract back and forth. But when it comes to the lending side, I send them over to the lender and have the lender handle it. I don't really know the ins and outs of the loan process when it comes to indigenous land or any loan for that matter, to be honest with you. Okay, good. Cup. I really must look tiny now with my big giant cup and my big giant pillow. Eddie, can you put up that article, the next one, please? Doo-doo-doo. All right, here we go. Eddie liked this article. It says, waiting for home prices to drop, you'll likely be waiting for a long time, experts say. And this is one of those things we're going to talk about this a little bit. Feeling the squeeze fast rising home prices, higher mortgage rates, and larger monthly mortgage payments, home buyers are left wondering when the home market will see a relief and home prices will start to drop. 2020 has been difficult for those who are trying to afford a home. In January, home prices were rising fast, but the mortgage rates were near record lows and offering comfort for those trying to afford a home. That's no longer the case. Rates have quickly raced past 5%. All right, I'm going to scroll down. It says experts say it is unlikely prices will drop significantly nationwide anytime soon, while the rate at which home prices will rise will be slow. There'll likely be fewer people can afford to shop in this pricier market. On a local level, individual markets might see prices come down, but experts say the big drop across the board is unlikely, bearing a big economic shift. So this is what we have to pay attention to if you're looking to, like, if you're concerned about a crash and if you're looking for a crash. We have to start paying attention to the jobs market. If the jobs market tanks, the home prices will start to tank, because if people can't afford to pay for their home, they're going to have to put it up for sale. And if there's more and more people getting laid off from their jobs, like I've been seeing, if you haven't noticed it, like there's been a lot of companies that have been doing layoffs. It takes a while for that to catch up. So if we're starting to see and hear about it now, I bet you in 6 months we're gonna start seeing home prices drop more significantly in some markets, not all markets. Um, all right. So if you scroll down, it says, what's the cause of the rise in home prices? The median sales price for existing homes in April was 391,200 in April, up 14.8 from the year earlier, according to the National Association of Realtors. Home prices are rising dramatically, but at the pace has slowed a little bit in recent months. Sales prices were around 20% higher over year. As you know, some of these markets are so overinflated, though. Behind that rise are two concurrent trends, each playing on a different side of the formula behind the prices. The supply of available homes is down, like I've been talking about. We don't have enough due to fewer people choosing to move out of existing homes and underbuilt of new homes in the past decade. We have not been able to keep up with the pace of demand for home ownership for over a decade. It's actually been about 15 years. Demand is higher because of demographic shifts. Millennials are in their prime home buying years, and the rise of remote work is allowing people to move further away from their jobs in cities. So here's the thing. This is what if the job market crashes, we're going to see home prices drop drastically. We have to have we're short 5 million homes, 5 million affordable homes. They were expecting all these people to retire and move out of their tiny homes, but these people retired and said, "We'll just buy another house," and they have 2 houses. If the problem that I see, if h interest rates are high, we can't get enough building supplies, the job market is tanking, uh, where nobody's gonna be building little homes. I still think we're gonna be in this rat race of a short amount, not enough short. We're gonna be supply short on, uh, affordable first-time home buyers. Not the buyers, but the homes. Uh, like, even when it comes back, if these are all scenarios. If it comes back, to, people buying in the pace that they're buying before, what builder is gonna build them, Like, they're like, "No, if people are buying houses, they're gonna build the bigger houses that people are purchasing." And the home builders right now, their confidence in building is, like, doesn't exist. Every time the interest rates even tick up another bit, they're like, "Forget it, we're not building more houses." A lot of them have, laid off some of their crews because 'cause they're like, "Nope, not gonna do it." There just isn't enough there's not incentive because they're freaking out. If they continue to see home prices, interest rates go up, they know that there's gonna be a less, home buyers in the pool. So they're like, "Normally we build 100 houses, we're gonna only build 25 and we'll get those sold." Um, Lack of supply is always going to be an issue no matter what market we're in. Yep. Oh, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So what I wanna hear your thoughts on this. Um I wanna hear your thoughts on this. When do you think that, there's gonna be another way that the home prices are gonna crash? Like, if what other factor other than the jobs market? Obviously, interest rates are gonna make deter people, from buying, but it hasn't really stopped them yet. I don't know. But if you are looking for a house and the home sellers are reading these articles, it has been a plus for you as a home buyer because, some of them are taking discounts and they're giving closing costs again, thank God. Thank God. Um, Adventure Edgar says, "What should a real estate investor look for when they're hiring a property manager?" Oh, wow. Okay, so I would look for a real estate agent that actually specializes in property management. Now, there's some real estate agents, they're like, "Oh, yeah, I can manage your property," but they only have 3. Like, you wanna see that how they do the booking, like, how they do their whole entire spreadsheets, how they keep them in order, who does the maintenance. You want like, you're interviewing them. You wanna see their books and how they put everything together. What is their process for managing properties? And you wanna know how often they're going to update you on reviews of those properties. And I would make sure that if you have somebody in the area, if it's somewhere you don't live, just go by there and drive by there, like, hire a Uber driver, tip them really good, say, "Hey, I just need you to drive by my rental property and take a picture," because you wanna make sure that they're taking care of the property. Um, and the only reason I say that is our first home that we ever purchased, my husband and I, it was a rental property previously, and we were gonna be the first people that had owned it since the late '80s. And that woman who we were purchasing from had no idea that this house was in a complete shambles, had no clue. And she's just sitting at the closing table going, "I'm just so excited you got that little house. All the flower beds were so pretty and so cute. I was gonna live there." And I'm like, "You wouldn't live there now." I told her that. I'm like, "You wouldn't live there now." She was like, "Oh, it's just painted this beautiful pink." The outside of that house had no paint left. It was just cement. Like, you could run your hand across it. There was no paint. We had to get new roof, new paint, new air conditioning unit. I mean, the whole thing was, like, in a mess, but she had no clue because she was using a property management company, and they were telling her everything was fine, and it wasn't fine. It wasn't fine. So, that's just a little heads up from me to you. Have somebody else kinda look out for you and your management company because some of them, they stink. Man, they're terrible. They're terrible. Alright, The Great Gatsby, one of my favorite books. Should my wife and I go looking next year in Maryland? I have 130 income, 0 down, uh, or wait until the JPAL reset. I don't know what he means by that JPAL reset, you know, next year in Maryland, I mean, like, who knows what the housing market's gonna look like next year? If you had told me 2 years ago we would have seen home prices looking the way we do right now, I would have said, "You're out of your mind," and here we are. And if you had told me at the beginning of this year that home prices would continue to rise with the rise of interest rates, I would have been like, "Well, that's never been done in history." And here we are again with the home prices still rising with interest rates, which again, I still think I think those prices are lagging, a lagging indicator. I think we're gonna see, I bet you by July and August, we're gonna see more deductions in home prices. But, I mean, if you have the ability to buy a house and it's a good deal for you and you're able to afford it and you get a good interest rate and your debt to income ratio is good and it's the right time for you personally to buy a house, then buy a house. If it doesn't work out for you, you're financially strapped, you don't know if you're going to be living there for the next, 7 to 10 years, then don't buy a house. I will say that rent prices throughout the United States have continued to climb. They're ridiculous. In our area, I would not rent our house what we should be renting our one of our rental properties. Rent should be one price, and I'm like, "There's no way and I could ever sleep at night charging that kind of rent for that house. Absolutely not." Um, in some areas like Austin, Texas, rent prices have gone up 35, 40%. So somebody sent me an article that this in Oregon, this couple had been living in a manufactured home for years and they were paying like, let's just say $1,000. They raised it another $1,500. So they have to move out. They have no choice. They have no choice for a manufactured home on a lot. Like they love living there, but they're not going to pay $1,500 extra and they have nowhere to go because there's nowhere else to rent in the area. It's crazy. Rental prices are nuts. So let's see. Eddie's going to be pulling this up for me. Oh, there's 450 of you 450 of you watching me today. Happy Father's Day to you all. If you haven't yet, make sure that you hit that like button. Let us know you like the stream. Peter has a question. It says, have the number of listings you represent gone up? And are your sellers understanding of what's changed regarding the increase in monthly payments for buyers? Have the number of listings you represent gone up? And are your sellers understanding of what I guess it's like, what are your, sellers' understanding of what has changed regarding, the increase in monthly payments for buyers? Sellers have their own mindset, just like you gotta think of it this way. Sellers are just trying to make as much money as possible, when they sell their home. Buyers are trying to get the best deal that they possibly can for purchasing this home. That's their only focus. That's the most of the focus. If you're lucky, if you have a seller that's like, "Oh my gosh, their interest rates are gonna go up and now they can't afford to buy this house." Like very rarely, I mean, that's like a diamond in a rough where they'll say, "Well, we'll just drop it $5,000 for them or we'll give them 5,000 in closing costs." That rarely happens. Sellers understand that if they're going to purchase another house, they're gonna be paying a lot more in interest than they would have a year ago. Buyers understand that right now is if they're gonna find a house, they're gonna the purchasing power that they had, 2 months ago is not the same purchasing power they have today. So even if they qualified, let's just say for a $300,000 house, because the way the interest rates went up, they're gonna have to find a house that is less expensive. And you would think there would be more houses on the market with the higher interest rates that, these people could negotiate with, and there's just not enough in that first time home buyer range. They're still having to fight to find those homes, especially in areas like Atlanta, Phoenix, Tampa, Austin, Texas. They're nearly non-existent, nearly non-existent. I couldn't get anybody to normally I have a guest on with me, and I couldn't get anybody to come on today. I kind of felt guilty even asking anybody because it was Father's Day, so I was like, "I'm gonna go solo." Forgive me, my throat was a little dry. Teresa Perry says, "How do you find a reputable general contractor to build a home? If you're paying, is there a website with recommendations?" I'm going to tell you the best way to find a general contractor. I would ask, first of all, to ask your local real estate agent, ask them who they would recommend. Then I would go around and start looking at houses that you like, that are really like beautiful homes. And you can ask the owners, like, who built your house? And they'll tell you, man, they're excited and they'll tell you if they suck. Then I'd also make a social media post and in your local area, like we have it here, buy, sell, and trade Baton Rouge or whatever, or what to know and what to know in Baton Rouge. And you can post in there like, "Hey, I'm looking for a good general contractor. Is there anybody that you know in the area that's a good one that's been reputable?" And you'll be surprised how many people are willing to let you know who they love, and they'll let you know who they hate too. They really will. So you'll know who to stay clear from. I've had 2 clients this year that tried to build barn dominiums, and both of them used a different contractor, and both of them got the shaft. It was terrible. mostly because some people got in over their heads and they took on too many projects this year. One couple actually ended up having to purchase a manufactured home because they needed somewhere to live, and that was something they could get on that piece of property quickly. So just be careful, especially if you're doing something different than what's the typical stick built home. If you're trying to do a modular home or whatever, be very careful of the general contractor you hire. You can also look up their companies on the Better Business Bureau, but some of them are pretty sneaky in the fact that like they know that their last company got in trouble, so they'll just start a new LLC and it's got like a fresh start on it. Like look up the name of the person who's running that company and see if you can find anything about them. You can Google their name, and if they've ever made it to the news for not a good reason, run. Kristina says run. Run. Eddie, here we go. Jerry Prusa says, question: how will the rocketing interest rates affect the affordable housing market, both construction and sales? So here's the problem, like I was saying earlier. Home builders have no incentive to build brand new affordable homes. They just don't. The saving grace for affordable homes is going, in my opinion, to be modular home construction. It's going to take the local areas approving subdivisions that are made with modular homes. Uh, According to the latest thing that came out from the Biden administration, they are going to be opening more land for modular and alternative construction. There even is some neighborhoods that have manufactured homes mixed along with traditional built homes. If we can get more affordable homes on the market, I think we're going to see a leveling of home prices for people in that first-time home buying range. But right now, they just keep going up, and I don't even know how my kids will ever afford their first home. It's crazy. The Great Gatsby with a $4.99 super chat, I appreciate you, says, I appreciate your insight. We'll let you know how our search goes over the next year. We are actively active duty, and we're excited and stressed all at the same time. Buying a home is exciting and stressful, no matter what real estate market you're in. And I want to thank you so much for your service. I appreciate you, and I know everybody in the chat does as well. The military ain't for sissies, that's for sure. It's not. My brother was a Green Beret. My dad was in the Air Force. My grandpa was in the Navy. My two nieces in the Navy. I got one nephew in the Navy. We got a whole gaggle of military. All right, we got another question here. It says, question: federal and state laws are requiring higher density for new units, correct? I just laid out a new 95 lot subdivision in the maximum size lot of 2,600. Are you seeing this? Federal law has required higher density for new units. I just laid out a new subdivision for 95 lots subdivision with a maximum lot size of 2,000. Well, the plan that has come out was that we would see more zero lot line homes basically lined up against each other. If you remember, if you look back at like World War II, after the GIs got back, they had set up these subdivisions where they were like 2-bedroom houses. Believe it or not, those were modular built construction. They were built very quickly. And they were zero lot lines, 2-bedroom houses, 1 bath, little small kitchenette, just to help the military get back on their feet after war. If that is the case, that would be a great thing. But what I'm mostly seeing, and I've seen it over and over again, well, that a new subdivision looks like, it's going to be scraped. And then you're like, oh, thank God, these are small houses, but they're built to rent. There's built to rent market. And so these big subdivisions that are going in, 100 homes, they're not intended for anybody to ever purchase them. They're just being built for investors to rent them out. They're really, if you read what they're saying on these websites, like how they try to like validate their business model, It's kind of gross, It's like they're saying like, you don't want to hassle of the house. You don't want to do that. It's crazy. You have to deal with homeowners taxes and there's the repairs. They make it sound like it's the worst decision in the world to purchase a house, but renting from them is going to be so much better and your life's going to be utopia. Like it's in total insanity. I highly do not recommend that. I mean, and I think that if you live in an area that's doing this, I want you to start going to your local planning and zoning meetings so you can voice your detest for this because it's not good. It's not good for anybody. It's really not. I mean, I know we need rental properties, but we don't need several subdivisions that are rentals only and no one owning a home anymore. So, question, where is the cat? Julie, I can't have a cat in my little house. So this is if you go on my channel and you look at Tuesday's live stream, they put in a little house outside my house. This little room is not in my house. It's a separate building from my house. And my cats are indoor cats. I don't let them come outside. That makes me very sad. I do want to create and I don't even know if it's going to be possible, but I want to create like a little a catwalk basically. So it would go from one of the room's window and go all the way to the window here. And so the cats could come in and out when they want to. I think that'd be very cool. Ooh, Chris Cockle, construction cronies. You need to tell me how to do that. You can tell me how to construct that. But I think it'd be very cool to have because I do love the cats. Like they're so exciting and fun. And I think it's funny when they come in here and disrupt the street, I can't talk, disrupt the stream. Yes, a big thanks to the mods. Our mods, off the subject of cats and real estate for a minute, our mods come here every single week, spend over an hour making sure that our chat is kept nice and clean and respectable. And I can't thank them a lot more than I can't thank them enough. And I want to say thank you to all of you. And if your dad's, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you. Yes, thank you, Jerry, for reminding me to thank the mods. All right. All right, Eddie, do we have another question or do you want to put the article up, my friend? I can show you my shoes. These are my favorite sneakers. While Eddie's getting the question up. Look at these. Aren't they fun? And look, I can totally like sit on this thing like this. Like, should I do my live stream like this or no? Probably not. It's so funny. Question. Is your old studio up for rent? My old studio is in my house. In one of my videos, I explained that old studio, the old YouTube studio, it was only a 6x6. It was a 6x6 room. So I could touch my hand to the wall to the actual desk, and I could touch my hand to the window to the door. It was actually a storage closet to my garage that I converted into an office. It wasn't actually an office. I made it into an office. Yeah, but I have no problem. And like people were giving me guff about this. They're like, there's no bathroom in your little studio. I'm like, I don't need a bathroom. My house is right there, whatever. You can, if you like these little tiny homes, the company that put my tiny home in, they actually sell kits with bathrooms and kitchens. They have they can even connect two modular units together, and they can make a 1,200 square foot house out of their kits. So you could, like those old Sears and Roebuck catalogs where you could pick out a house. It's basically the same thing with this backyard workroom company. They have tons of floor plans, and all you have to do is pick it out. I think he said the pricing and everything for all of them should be updated either. It's probably already updated now, or it'll be updated the beginning of this week with all the new floor plans and pricing on them. So just FYI if you're interested in that. All right, here we go. I'm going to have to, that's far away. The screen is so far away, I can't even see it. What exactly is equity? I thought it was what one had to pay I thought it was what one had paid on their house, but someone recently told me there's a difference between what you owe and the value. Okay, so here's the thing. So when you purchase a house, when you first purchase a house, your payment always pretty much stays the same unless the property taxes or the insurance goes up. So let's just say you're paying $1,200 for the life of the loan for 30 years. Well, the thing is that the beginning of your loan, you're really just paying the interest of your loan. So it's not really taking that much off of how much you owe on the house. The bank is going to get their money first. So those first years that you're paying, you're just paying the bank interest. That's it. You're just paying bank interest. You're taking very little off the principal of your house. And it's when you get past that 7 to 8 years, then it starts to go down. Then you're paying a lot more towards the principal and the principal of your house. So that way, by the time you get closer to those 30 years, you're nearly paying it off. That's why you don't have as much equity. You're paying mostly interest when you first purchase a home. So I hope that answers your question. I know that blew my mind too when we bought our first house, and you pull out that paperwork. I'm like, you mean after 5 years, I've only taken off $10,000 on this house? What the heck? Like, how does that work out? I paid a lot more than that. And how does that work out? And someone explained it to me. Kristina looks so small. If anybody knows, I'm only 5'1". So it depends on the day. Sometimes I'm only 5 foot. sometimes I'm only 5 foot. When we measured me today, I'm 5'1". I really look small because I have an oversized pillow and I have an oversized cup. Here we go. I'm waiting for it to hit my screen. Sorry. Question: how much do you think having solar or other renewables installs affect the prices of the house in the future? Oh, this is one that some people are going to get really angry with me. Hold on, let me take a sip. I need a sip. Okay. The thing about solar energy is that you have to maintain those panels. And the technology, when it comes to solar, changes so rapidly that the panels, once you've paid them off, let's just say you had a 10-year payment plan on them, you've paid them off, and guess what? They're no longer the bestest, most wonderful solar panel. Second thing is you have to make sure that in order for it to be valuable to a person purchasing the house, you have to show how much your bills have been reduced because of solar. What we have found here in the state of Louisiana, and this could be different in different areas, is that it doesn't pan out. By the time that you have paid for the battery packs and everything else, you're not really winning with solar panels. The only people that win with solar panels are the people that bought the house the second time. Not the first time around. The people that made the investment for the solar panels ended up doing a lot of investing up front. It took them a long time to see the benefit of putting those solar panels in. We have a problem here in the state of Louisiana with solar panels because we have a lot of storms that come through. And whenever you have a storm, inevitably there ends up being roof damage. With that roof damage, if you have solar panels on there and they repair the roof, the minute you put those solar panels back up on the roof, you have now ruined the warranty that was given for the roof repair, because you've now changed the roof itself by putting the solar panels on there. If the solar panels are not attached to the roof, then you're taking away some of the amount of space that you have in your yard. A lot of people aren't going to like that. I've had more home buyers ask for those solar panels to be removed and just the plain roof shown up than to have the solar panels themselves. I don't really see them as a benefit unless they have improved them quite a bit and bring down the cost of them. As far as an appraisal comes along, that is going to be area specific. Some areas like in Arizona and California, having solar panels does increase the value of your property. By how much, that's going to depend on the area as well. Now, in our area, it literally means nothing. You did those solar panels for yourself. Your value of your home has not increased at all. It means nothing. You did those for yourself, much like putting in a jacuzzi or an outdoor kitchen. Those are one of those things you did for yourself. It didn't necessarily add more value to your home. Not like redoing your kitchen. Redoing your kitchen will give you a lot of more value to your house than putting in solar panels. Boy, that was a long-winded answer. I'm sorry. I hope I got you everything you wanted out of that. I'm sorry about that, but it's true. It's true. Now, if I had a tiny home, I would totally put solar panels on there. I mean, like, I want to live off the grid as much as possible. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Look at that. Are we at the time, Eddie? Yep, we're at the time. Today is Father's Day. My dad and mom are in the house, in the other house right now. I want to wish everybody a very happy Father's Day. We have to do a hard stop today because of the fact that it's Father's Day and I have family here and you have family here. And I want you to spend time with your dad if he's around. Give your dad a call. Unless you don't like them, but we all love dads right now. Everybody's got a good dad today. And I hope everybody has a fantastic week. My next video coming out on Tuesday will be the pros and cons of the 3 most popular affordable housing options, which is tiny homes, manufactured homes, and modular homes. And I made a whole video about that. That'll be coming out on Tuesday. And then we'll see you guys next week. If there's anything specifically you want me to talk about in my next stream, let me know in the comments section after this video is published. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, a safe week, and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. We're going to dance our way out of here. We're going to dance our way out. Oh, Eddie's even going to put on some music, man. Happy Father's Day, Eddie. Everybody say Happy Father's Day to Eddie. The best dad on the planet, other than my dad. Such a good guy. Bye-bye.